What's up everyone, it's Q from Retro Q Gaming, and you guys know I'm a huge JRPG fan. Not just from modern day, but from way back in the day as well. Hell, even when you look at it, old school Squaresoft games are generally considered some of the highest quality RPGs of all time. You've got early games like Chrono Trigger, you've got games like Secret of Mana, you've got early Final Fantasy games, etc, etc. Some amazing high quality games in there as well. And as you probably already know, Secret of Mana is my favorite game of all time. It's number one on my favorite game of all time list, and that will never, ever change. Now, when it comes to that, we all know that there is an upcoming remake for the PS4, PC, and PlayStation Vita, but I'm not really here to talk about that today. What I am going to talk about is some interesting comments that were made by the producer of the upcoming Secret of Mana remake in regards to something else. Now, what do I mean by something else? Well, there's a sequel to Secret of Mana, believe it or not. Some people watching this video already know this, some people don't, but it's called Seiken Densetsu 3. By comparison, Secret of Mana as we know it is Seiken Densetsu 2, so it's technically the second game in the series when you think of it that way, the first one being Final Fantasy Adventure way back on the Game Boy. But anyway, that's beside the point. Seiken Densetsu 3 never actually got a proper official translation or release outside of Japan. Now that's not to stop some amazing fans out there for what they've done over the course of the last, well, nearly 20 years. Starting in the early 2000s, fans took it upon themselves to actually manually translate the entire ROM. The entire ROM. Not just, it's madness. To take an old school RPG and translate it as fans shows their love and dedication for this amazing game and franchise. And people, myself included, have enjoyed this game tons of times. Way back when it first came out and over all these years in a fan translated ROM. Hell, I even have a Super Nintendo Repro cartridge of the fan translated ROM. So I can put that cartridge into my actual SNES and it plays in English properly. I even have some videos on the channel of it from way back earlier this year. So you see my point. Hell, I even have the imported Nintendo Switch Japanese copy of the Seiken Densetsu collection. Yeah, it has all three games on there. Unfortunately, they're all in Japanese. I can play Secret of Mana with my eyes closed, so that's not an issue. And I remember the majority of the stories for Seiken Densetsu 3, so that's usually not a problem either because I play it fairly frequently. Now, having said all that, the producer of the upcoming Secret of Mana remake, Masaru Oyamada, hopefully I got his name correct, the Japanese names are not my strong point. He was going on to say that why Secret of Mana Remake isn't coming to Nintendo Switch and that they currently have no plans but they're not ruling it out, blah blah. The usual kind of PR speak and all that as well. So, he kind of went on to say something very interesting when it comes to the Seiken Densetsu 3. For the simple reason is, if you follow anything I've done regarding Secret of Mana or Seiken Densetsu 3 over the last maybe like 6 or 8 months or so, probably even longer, you know that I'm very vocal about people going to Twitter, going to Facebook, going to Google+, going to wherever there are official Square Enix public media channels, and letting them know as fans that we want an official English translation of Secret of Mana 2 and a release in the West, in the US and Europe, in some way, shape or form. And here's what he actually had to say when that was brought up about the potential translation and release. So, it's not a confirmed yes, it's not a confirmed no, it's almost the usual kind of PR speak, but specifically because of what it's relating to, I'm going to try to be optimistic about it. So here's what he had to say anyway, when in regards to possibly translating and releasing in the West of a localized version of Secret of Mana 2. We do not have any information that can be shared at this moment in time. I too would definitely like to do something about this task, so I would be grateful for everyone's continued support for the Mana series. So this comes in multiple different ways that can be understood. For the simple reason is, he does start off by saying we do not have any information that can be shared at this moment in time. Again, that is very PR speak-ish, whichever. So it can be taken with a grain of salt, but because of what we're talking about, I want to remain optimistic. The fact that he says that there's nothing that can be shared at this moment, It means that there could potentially be something going on that they don't want to share just yet, but it also means they could have information that, or they could have no information because they have no plans on doing it or anything like that as it stands at the moment. But again, I'm just being glass half full on this side of it. And another way that this could actually be understood in a horrible kind of, I won't say sinister way, because this will be a Capcom level of sinister way. But he also says that, so I would be grateful for everyone's continued support for the Mana series. Now, that can be taken in multiple different ways, shapes, or forms. Hopefully, the less important, not less important, but hopefully the way he didn't mean it is that, well, you know, if people buy a shitload of copies of Secret of Mana Remake on PS4, Vita, and PC, maybe we'll know that there's a fan base out there for the Mana games, and maybe we can translate it in that way. If the others sell a good amount, we'd have a reason to do it. Hopefully that's not the case, because that's kind of shitty and that's kind of shady, and Capcom have basically tried to do that. A bunch of other studios too, especially when it comes to Nintendo Switch, but Capcom have been kind of caught in the act multiple times, especially when it came to Street Fighter, so that's a bit dodgy. Anyway, what I would say to you is, first off, take to your, I don't know, Facebook, your Twitter, your, what else is there, Google Plus, hell, go to MySpace if you have an account. If you're even old enough to know what MySpace is, take that. Wow, I feel old. But anyway, go to whatever social media channel is your preferred one, or multiple ones if you've got multiple ones, and let Square Enix know how much we want an official Seiken Densetsu 3 localization and release in the West, be it in a fully translated trilogy like the Japanese Switch users got, or even if it was a single release or a digital only virtual console title, or whatever. Let them know how much we want this. And not only on top of that, let me know in the comment section below how much you want this. Have you played the fan translated ROM? Have you learned Japanese and played the Japanese version? Have you imported a Switch version of the Japanese version of the Switch trilogy? Let me know all of that in the comment section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the rest of the videos in my channel.